That's not steps.
No, this is the old waterfall. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No, there was an upper pond right here.
Uh-huh.
And that little spot right there was the lower pond.
Hi there!
We're just enjoying your yard.
Oh. Made it.
No, don't do it. I'm kidding. What are you doing?
Because we go hiking. I can hike.
Oh, okay. Look at this. Former waterfall turned into ladder. There's Mark the pond guy himself. And there's the two-legged dog Scruff, huh? Aw, hey. That's Mark the pond guy. I'm Greg Wittstock the pond guy. This is my channel, Greg Wittstock the pond guy, and it's all about cool dogs, neat people, living the aquascape lifestyle. I'm the pond guy, Greg.
Hi, I'm Jenny. Nice
Hi, Jenny.
I'm Rob.
Hi, Rob. So Scruff is your two-legged pup that was hit by a car. Oh, look at him. And he's 9 years old?
He's probably about 9.
Uh-huh.
It happened when he was about a year, maybe not quite. And he's, both back legs were broken.
But he's figured it out, hasn't he?
Absolutely.
He can go up those steps, couldn't he?
Absolutely.
Watch.
Scruff.
Look at that.
It's like, heck yeah.
And he gets along just fine with his brothers and sisters, huh?
Oh, yeah.
So Dan, what's the story here, guys? Who designed this? Who sold this?
This one's over here first.
So this is the first water feature on this side?
Yes.
There was a couple years ago, maybe.
There was a water feature here, more or less like it is now.
Okay.
Only a lot more redneck.
And then Dan came in and did his magic.
Yeah.
He redid. He just took everything out.
You know what? That's beautifully framed from when you come into the house. You come right up here and this is the first thing you see. And then it's lit up at night.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. What was here, Dan, that you redid?
It wasn't functional, so we took out the old equipment, new liner, new pump, new reservoir.
All new rock work.
The
Pipe
waterfall
that was
coming out was just a pipe sticking out, spewing, puking
Hence
water.
the reason I say it was a little redneck.
At the same time, there was a 50,000 gallon pond right here, and another stream that ran all the way down the driveway. So that was just kind of a pea soup pot. Right?
It had an island that you couldn't get to, so it was overgrown.
Yeah. So when we did this, they weren't ready to attack that center part, so we added filtration to it, some 2 grande biofalls to it, a skimmer.
All right, well, let's go check this out.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, this was a big pond that was about 4 feet deep, and all slopes that away from the viewing area. So we brought in about
400 yards of dirt and 200 more
topsoil, yeah.
600 total.
Yeah, my goodness.
So it was sunken. It was below the,
Yeah,
the pond was below.
Yeah,
the
there was a higher rock wall here down to the pond.
So this is a pretty big basin down here, huh? With all that.
Basin actually goes all the way out behind. Over there, we just built over.
So you got aqua blocks in here, so the liner goes underneath it, and then you just actually brought in on top of it the stones. Put another liner on top. These rocks are fantastic.
Those are actually off the property here.
So you got these moss rocks off this property.
Yeah, I noticed a couple rocks over here, so I started walking around and found several of these around on the property.
Right.
Hey, can I steal these rocks? He's like, what are you going to do with those?
I love the flat rock right in the middle, set at the exact right height. So we're really standing where a pond used to be.
The water level of the pond was probably 4 or 5 feet below where we're standing.
How did you make the decision to do this?
They didn't want to have fish, so they weren't stuck on that aspect of the pond. They liked the sound of running water, so they wanted to get the running water sound as close to the viewing area as possible.
So what would it cost to replicate a project like this? Let's just say you didn't have to bring in all the soil and it was just you were just building this from scratch.
Without bringing all that soil in would probably be 80 to 100,000.
I see some glass objects up here.
I started glass blowing last year.
Sure, why not? Let's just start glass blowing. So you got these right here, but you have some really unique features that I saw right when we came in. And what were those?
Those are my solar system.
You made these.
I made these.
That is pretty impressive. I don't think I would have that kind of talent. How long would something like this take to do?
Well, so all in all, it took 3 sessions. The first session I did 3 or 4 of the pieces. The next session I did another couple. And then the last session I did the sun and Saturn.
Is that Pluto?
This is Pluto. It is my solar system, so by golly.
I got it.
Pluto is a planet.
I remember from high school. People that don't have a water feature don't understand the maintenance. What kind of maintenance is involved?
As far as the water feature itself, we need to change out a little bag every month and a half, a couple months or so.
It's the water treatments, the auto doser.
Yes, and then just making sure that the bottom where the all the water comes down, Daniel has put a nice filter, so that all we have to do is pull that out, bang it, and
so you would
put it back
say
in.
low maintenance.
Fairly low maintenance.
Yep.
Yeah, as far as the water part goes, absolutely.
Look at the views out here. Just a spectacular property, a beautiful area to sit and relax by. And as nice as these views are of the mountains and everything else, to have something like this in the foreground that you can just relax around and hear that sound, it just changes the whole space. Wow. First thing you see when you open it up.
Wow.
Did he call you to fix it, or?
We don't fix concrete ponds.
Yes.
He literally exhausted all resources on how to get this fixed and finally came to the conclusion it's time to rip it out.
And instead of having the waterfall face away from the house, you now built one facing towards the house.
As they look at Mount Rainier and the Ording Valley. So when Mount Rainier blows, in 30 minutes that will be gone.
The pond guy, Greg.
Greg, very nice to meet you.
Washington State University, the home of the flag that travels college game day everywhere all over.
It does. We used to have a waterfall that went from here down the side. No one could see it. We could hear it, which is why we contacted Mark to begin with. Dan is the creative genius of the ponds here. So we're expecting a little pond down in the corner of our yard. This was the result. Dan looks at the area, smiles, and says, you know, we really do have to make it so it's proportional to the view in the yard. We inherited the pond. It's the first time we had a water feature. And we realized that even when it was working badly, it sounded fantastic. We have our room right up above it, and so we wanted to maintain that same ambiance.
And how do you like the water feature?
I absolutely love it. There's actually, Mark put like a little area there that's got a little backrest, and I can sit there on hot days and...
Oh, I heard. Read a book and with a nice cold beverage.
Exactly. This is my sitting rock.
Okay.
I turn right now the flow is on high.
Yeah.
So I turn it down so I'm not getting drenched. But I get my book and my beverage, and I sit right here, and it's perfect because it just kind of cools you off.
Yeah.
We love it.
Not too many people can say they can do that in their backyard.
Yeah.
Look at how unnatural concrete looks. I mean, that's not natural. Plus it's facing away from the house, which is ironic too, when you consider that is your view. This is a new hobby for you, water features. How much work is this pondless waterfall?
Very little. In fact, just before your visit, Greg, per Dan's suggestion, I turned it off for a day and a half and let it dry.
Yep.
Took our shop vac down there, pulled up a couple extra small rocks as well, but took all the pine needles, the fir needles, and everything out of the pond, and that is basically it.
So less maintenance than a lawn.
Oh, much less maintenance. All we basically do is come down and enjoy it.
Amen.